Three Corners is just your average small town, standing on the banks of a flood-prone river with a large pub anchoring the village at a once famous three-way intersection. Now it's simply convenient, as people chase the country dream, the country lifestyle, just not the unceasing agricultural workload. Three Corners proudly supports a post office, a bakery, a cafe, a bookshop, a grocery store, gelateria, a few antique shops, and the usual high-end art and stylish home stores peddling the trend without the substance. Population 2,000-ish. But like all small towns, scratch the surface and you'll be surprised at what you find underneath. In that sense, Three Corners is really no different to any other small town I know. Except perhaps for some of the characters you might meet. Fish for summer shoes. As he stepped into the river, he could feel the cooler waters from off the mountain creeks whirl and mix with the lower valley river. Both crystal clear, untouched by man, except for a few swimmers upriver and the occasional animal passing. Over the rapids, the water burbled encouragement as he balanced the riffle square with the net rigged up, stepping carefully over and around the rocks. Riffle shrimps are worth quite a bit in the aquarium business, sensitive creatures that love the warmer water and hide in the shallows. If he could get just a few, it would be enough to buy the school shoes for next year, and that would be one less worry after summer. The sun bounced off the water, making it harder to see, so crouching down ankle deep, he brushed his hand gently across the surface. Just the right temperature. Slowly manoeuvring the net frame, he sat its L shape under some of the darker rocks so that the top cleared the water about 10 centimetres. You had to be careful. The riffle shrimp were climbers. To his left, he could hear the faint sound of cars passing on the cliff road that wound along the river, and to the right, a faint bellow of cattle. All else was quiet. The cockatoos were nowhere to be heard, and the cicadas buzzed indistinctly in the trees. Slowly, trying not to splash, he backed downstream and then across to the bank. Catching his thong on a stone, the togger came free and flapped an arc of water right up to his head. It was cool and refreshing, although the day wasn't too hot yet. He shook the drops off, wiping his face with the bottom hem of his t-shirt, and hopping over the warm sand, sat and tried to fix the thong as he waited. It didn't take long. Perfect conditions, really. The Fiumeski nestled at the edge of the water, thermometer monitoring the 27 degrees needed, a small oxygenator operating the batteries ready to go. Giving up on the thong, he slid his feet back into the water, careful of the sharper rocks, not yet smoothed by the water that rushed past. From the corner of his eye, well on the prize, he thought he saw a shadow move in the water. Too late to think, he stepped forward, the rocks underneath proving unsteady, and he fell with a shout. The splash dislodged the riffle net and he managed to catch it as it passed, grinning not just at the quick save, but at the content. Cradling the 5 riffle shrimps close, he hobbled back to shore and gently lowered them into the esky. His right foot stung a bit from the fall, and when he went to rub it, he brought his hand away red with blood from a series of small cuts. Oh, no! With that realisation, the ache turned into a fire of pain that swept up his leg, past his knee, and exploded in his groin. Bloody bull rout! Gritting teeth, he hauled the esky up and out of the river. Using his left foot and the heel of his right, he limped up to the ute, thankful he parked so close to the edge. There are still tyre tracks there, where the grass span off so fast it hasn't managed to grow back even to this day. And the story still floats about downtown of the man who screamed down the main road with a police escort, sending pedestrians flying, roaring his pain out the window. It wasn't actually a police escort. He flew past them at such a speed they had a hard time keeping up, and it was only when they arrived at the emergency department that they realised it was a genuine emergency. But the escort story sounds better, and so the urban legend was born. The kids all got brand new school shoes that year, as well as a maxim they never forgot. Don't play in the shallows, in bare feet, in summer, ever. Today's episode of Three Corners was produced by our maestro, Posty, and featured the spotlight tones of me. For more stories, go to hittheroadjack.com.au or subscribe to the Three Corners podcast.